Welcome back to Gatabud. Today we are going to acquire and 4-star the Flamebreaker Armor, which is one of my favorite sets in this game to fully upgrade, and it is more than worth your effort. If this red Moblin hits me with a stick that's on fire, I take a heart and a quarter of damage. The quarter heart damage is the physical damage minimum, and then there's a bonus 1 heart because the stick is on fire and it is dealing fire magical damage. If I equip this third piece and get fireproof though, I'm going to take a quarter heart. That nullified the additional heart of magical damage that this enemy did. This is the most simple example of split damage that enemies deal in this game, and it's actually quite prevalent. If you're ever in a situation where you are not taking a quarter heart of damage and there's anything fire related in play, this is the way to floor it. You can throw on the defense cap and not be able to have any more defense, and something as simple as fire keys will still tear you apart with the magic damage because defense will never reduce it no matter what you do. Your only hope is to go fireproof, and then suddenly quarter heart. The reason why this is so valuable at 4 stars is you will kill the magic damage completely, and by having a full 60 defense, you'll ensure that any physical damage you're taking within reason will also go down to a quarter heart. You'll get the best of both worlds. One enemy in particular that you're going to get a real tangible benefit from this on is the Igniotalus, because you can stand on top of it the whole entire fight and be fireproof. That's from the set bonus, not necessarily the heat resistance. You need to differentiate the two. There's the weather, and then there's being fireproof, and those are two different things. I'm not harmed by that explosion right there, and I can stand on this hot surface. You're practically invincible against fire, Lizalfos. We absolutely get value against what I'd call the strongest fire enemy in the game, the Flame Gleeok. Its normal attacks are easily brought down to a quarter heart. Its medium attacks also brought down to a quarter heart. But for whatever reason, don't expect to get bailed out against that. The other 2 elemental Gleeoks were able to be floored to a quarter heart even on their ultimate attack, and for whatever reason the game was coded to not acknowledge that final attack as a typical fire move, so you have been warned. Now that you know why you should get this, let's acquire the actual armor. This is one of the easiest to get in the game. Okay, we're going to head to Gorin Village, and if you need money, you should follow my Rare Stone Talus guide. You'll have enough for this in record time if you do that, but we're just going to buy this. That's the only way to do it in this game. There's no quest to get one of the 3. And for this one, you're safe to sell any gemstones if you don't care about other armor sets. There's our Flamebreaker armor. Let's upgrade it. If you just finished my Radiant Armor Guide, then you're in luck. You probably already have the Flint, and that's going to be the majority of your time spent making this 4-star set. If you have the 135 Flint already, this is a layup of all layups to complete. The Moblin Horn is a trivial requirement for part 1. Moblin Fang you will accomplish as a byproduct of all the other gathering. The lizards and butterflies can just be bought at shops, and you don't even have to hunt them at all if you want. And then I have a good route set up for your 15 blue Moblin Horns and your 15 black Moblin Horns. This is going to be very fast, very easy, and you're going to get immediate value from this. An awesome spot to get started is northwest of Death Mountain in the depths. The Scorching Coliseum is the Moblin Coliseum, and since we are doing the Flamebreaker set anyways, we can handle the heat in here, and this is an excellent spot. Now what I just did was put a Thunder Gleeok horn on the Master Sword, and that'll make this really easy because I'm not in a 4-star set right now. So we've got some reds to start off with. Now 2 blues. I'm going to go ahead and eat some attack food to give myself an extra edge here. We've got 2 black moblins now. Now we've got a spike ball one that we just got to deal with. And now we've got 1 of everything. So you're going to get out here with 3 of each horn from doing this. That was perfect. And there's going to be a treasure chest in the middle if you're a first time, and you're going to get a little bonus reward out of this video, which is the Zant helmet. And it is a great alternative to what's probably my next video, the Snowquill set. If you're in the depths fighting enemies that freeze, you can do 2 out of 3 Fierce Deity and have this as your helm, and that will get what you want out of the Snowquill set with 2 attacks. So that's a nice addition. For red moblins, I'm going to the top of Death Mountain, and I'm going to follow the minecart circular around the descent of the mountain, and you'll see a lot of these on platforms. They're archers, and you want to make sure to get the shot where they're gonna fall, where you can actually get the item. So like that horn just fell, so that was a bad example, but there's 1 and 2. A little down on this platform, you've got number 3. And then right here, you want to go ahead and just stop going down that way because there's 1 kind of elevated right here. It's good, just go ahead and get that. If you need flint, you should be breaking these deposits along your way. Number 4 is right here. Number 5 is right here. There's another one chilling right here. And lastly, there's 1 chilling right here. And that should cover you on red horns by now. Close to where we ended our red moblin journey, there is a blue one, and that's a great place to get started on blue. North of the first one, we have 1 up on this elevated platform right here. And then east, we have one at a campfire right here. Now, a little southwest of Goron City, we've got another raised platform. You can catch them sleeping. So we got 2 blues, and we got a black and a silver as a bonus. Need to head to the Kikakin Shrine, southwest of the Typhlo Ruins Tower, right here. And we're going to this location to get started. And we have basically a line of blue moblins to take advantage of. And using a sensor will help tremendously on navigating this. Yeah, that's gonna be nice. Forest dwellers make items regenerate that you use. Okay, on to number 3. I think you can do that. That's cool. Here's number 4. Just gonna do death from above. Keep moving. And then number 5 right here. So we had a string of 5 moblins that did not scale up. Excellent to take advantage of. We basically went from like here-ish to here. In Hyrule Field, in the starting area, we want to begin at the Exchange Ruins at the Myakshan Shrine, and we're going to go kind of like this, and then we're going to end up in the Forest of Time at around the Kamazan Shrine. And here's our first one right here. Here's number 2. Number 3. There's one that's scaled up right there, so not a use to us. Another scaled up one. There's a red right there if you need one. And this is the exchange ruins, or the outpost ruins, my bad. This is the outpost ruins, and this is where we want to end up. Number 4. And number 5, right here. A really quick trio is at Hyrule Castle. Immediately upon teleporting in the shrine, you'll see 3 right there. Let's show you what the stealth set can do from my last video. Let's just one shot. From here, we're going to head to Akela, and there's a lot of them there, and what you need to do is follow along until you hit your magic number. After the castle, you want to go to the Ulri Mountain Skyview Tower and probably build the hover bike. It'll make this faster. And we are going to just cover this general area right here. There's quite a bit for us to take advantage of. We're going to start by heading east past Colton right here. Our first hit will be right here. Our second hit will be here kind of close to Tarrytown. Sure, let's get distracted by Dinral. It's nice that I can ride him now. Our next hit is north of the Spring of Power. We're going right here. There's number 3, and I suspect that would be number 4 if you were early game. I don't want to mess with him though. And we're already getting hits again. For right here. We've got 2. Now we're going to head east of the stable and shrine right here and take the edge of the coast. There's another one. And we're still getting hits to keep heading north. There's another one, and probably a second if you're early game. And then right across the road, here's another. After flying across the horse god area, we've got another one right here. And then immediately after that one, we're going into a skull. probably a third if you're early game. Everything's on fire. Move quickly to grab your loot. And there's a bonus one outside. And I'm going to end at Skull Lake from my Fierce Deity video. If you don't have this armor I'm wearing now, check out that video. You dive down that one, that tower for one of the items. The Moblin is right down here on the opposite side, next to what's probably a second one if you're early game. Let's talk about Flint. There is a hilarious amount required for this, and the best way I've found outside of hitting regular stone deposits is the luminous ore deposits. And I just did a very in-depth video on this for the Radiant armor to get 225 luminous stones. As a byproduct of that, I am sitting on this much flint right now before I even started working on this video. So I would definitely recommend doing that. If you haven't already watched my video on that, I'll give you a brief summary of what we do. There are 3 flint locations on miniature sky islands. One here, one here, and one here. What you need to do is go to that, and that'll get you 27 luminous deposits. Then you go underneath Lookout Landing in this cave in the emergency shelter, and up here there's going to be a giant room with 7. And then a little bit north of there, there's going to be a room with walls of luminous ore. Those don't respawn, but the deposits do right here. So that'll get you a bunch of flint. And then you need to go to Lanayru. There is a cave right here. This cave has 5 deposits. There's a cave underneath Zora's domain. You fall down this waterfall, enter there. There's 4. And then I believe there's 3 in this cave and a luminous stone talus. But I don't think the luminous stone talus is a good flint option. And then this cave has, I believe, 6 in there. If you've never entered these caves right here, these 3, they have massive amounts of those luminous like rock walls, and those just make it rain with flint. So much flint. This Puffer Beach cave right here also has those luminous rock walls. This well right here has 3 deposits. This shrine has 3 luminous deposits right here. This cave has 3 deposits. This cave has either 2 or 3, can't remember. And then if all else fails, you need to take a picture of regular ore deposits. Set your sensor to it, and run around and break them. For lizards and butterflies, you can either do it the free way or the easy way. You need to stick around this general track area and run around in your stealth clothes. I set my sensor to the butterflies because I have an easier time seeing the lizards. And you just run around and you don't use a vehicle. You gotta stay on your feet because the vehicles will scare them away before you can even realize they're there. A far better use of your time is throwing money at it. I have highlighted the relevant shops. I mentioned the traveling merchant, but I don't find it worth your time to go out of your way to go to that one. So you want to bounce around these 4 stables and start buying the items from Beetle. So the Woodland Stable, the Wetland Stable, the East Akala Stable, and the South Akala Stable. And then once you have hit all 4 of those, you need to fast travel to someplace like Lookout Landing with a bed, and then rest until the day changes in the game. So usually that means rest until morning, and then you go back and they will be back in stock. And you keep going until you have what you need. The butterfly in particular is a really good deal because it only costs 10 rupees, and I find those way more annoying to acquire. The lizard is a little more pricey and they're easier to find on the ground. So you might want to stick to butterflies if you're a little bit on the cash poor side, but still very viable as well. I'm going to rest until the day changes, which is rest until morning. And Beetle has his butterflies back in stock. Rinse and repeat. If you want to even speed this up further, drop a fast travel medallion right about here, and you won't have to run down the hill to Beetle. After a lot of Flint and a few other things, we are ready for the final upgrade. Congratulations on a 4-star Flamebreaker set. Hope you found this helpful, and I hope to see you again soon. Y'all have a good one.